Welcome to the NEC big game for this round 6 match in the Winfield Cup between Parramatta and Western Suburbs. Well, Parramatta come into this game after a big win over Cronulla last weekend to keep their unbeaten record intact. And the Magpies, although further down the competition table, in recent weeks have had a draw with Canterbury and last Sunday a good win over Canberra. Today's clash of the Westerners comes from the Parramatta Stadium. The last time we were here was for that memorable first match between the Eels and St George. John Mooney, as coach of Parramatta, must be very happy with his team's early season form. And there's their team rundown for today. Taylor, Ella, Jackson, Laurie, Atkins, Kenny, Sterling, Price, Sharp, Mayers, Jerd, Mosley and Leabeater. Steve Goshen, the West coach, he calls today's match a game of opportunity. An opportunity to maybe cause an upset win. The Magpies team for today is Petherbridge, Williams, Gale, Naden, Sheehan, Neal, Brett Clark, Schubert, McFarlane, Bilberger, Bruce Clark, Fella and Freeman. And the referee for today is Mick Stone. Parramatta going from left to right in our second telecast match from the stadium. And it's McFarlane who plays it for the Magpies. A big week for them with a new sponsor, Masterton Homes. And of course it's been a most successful year for them so far, into the quarters of the National Panasonic. This breeze is coming from behind the Magpies in the first half of the match. Paul Taylor had a dreadful game on Wednesday night. He really needed to catch that ball cleanly, and that's hurt him, the tackle too, Taylor. Sterling, Kenny. Cut out ball wide for Ella. In the centres, Ella. Atkins to the 32-metre line. Ella now a dummy half. He's had a busy start, Ella. He kicked off. He's made a long run and a dummy half. This is Leabeater. Referee calling Bruce Clark, the Magpies captain, out. And also called right across the ground is Williams, the winger, number 2. Penalty to Parramatta. So talking of Steve Ella, he'll now take this penalty kick at goal. Breeze, as I said, behind West in the first half. Let's get an estimate in points from Graham Hughes on the sideline.
Well, Ray, an estimate of points, I would say that it would have to be worth at least 6 to 8 points to any first-grade side. The big crux of the question today, of course, is I think the first 20 minutes might settle the issue with this one. Parramatta can't allow to leave Western Suburbs into the game at half-time, so they're the ones that have got to find themselves on the scoreboard and in front.
Miller's about 13 metres in. 23 metres out. One of the game's very fine players. Looked okay, but it's gone a little bit to the wire, to the left of the uprights. And Brett Clark is doing his damnedest to get back into the field of play, and did. Good work by young Clark. Penalty to West. It's against the tackler. Leabeater, this giant of a man on camera at the moment. There's a chance he wasn't going to play in this match. Petherbridge finding the line. Freeman. Parramatta 14-11, 123 is 15-6. They won reserve, so they're going for the treble. There's Bruce Clark on the blind. Brett Clark, and that's a good kick. Always was going to be a menace to the man trying to catch it, but he's found a lot of meters. First scrum of the day to Parramatta. The head-geared centre is Marklow. This is Price. Number 9 from West going in with what looked like a cheap shot. And now it's a penalty. It'll be against Schubert. So Schubert came reeling out of it. And Price stood over him as if to say, what did you do that for? Schubert seems to be the man that's come out of it second best. Sterling kicking towards the Michael Cronin stand. That's the eastern stand. Crowd, I would estimate, you might think I'm crazy, but I think there's about 23,000 here. And that's unheard of in the modern era. For these two clubs. This is Jerd. Play just outside the quarterway line. Paul Mayers stands in Schubert's tackle, finds Jerd. They're 15 metres out from the Magpies line. Sterling holding it back. It came off the head of Price. No knock on there. But there is now off Atkins, and the scrum will go down. This ball from Sterling hits the head of Ray Price. No knock on. And the scrum forming anyway following a breach a little bit further out. Now it's a penalty to West that takes us to the sidelines now. Graham Hughes with, I would think, a proud as punch secretary, Rick Wade.
Thanks, Ray. Of course, it's been a big week for you, Rick, and you were the happiest man in Sydney Rugby League when West were finally given the Sunday game.
Yes, it's great to be back in the big time, as the headlines of the Monday papers said. Of course, it's been very exciting with Marston and Holmes joining us as the major sponsor for us, and coming in now, and hopefully a trifecta if we can pull it off.
You mentioned to me there's a bonus there from Jim Marston.
Yes, $500 per man for a win today. Yeah, so he's a very generous man, and he's just walked straight into the club as if he'd been around the place for a long time. He's a great guy to deal with, and so are the other executives at Marston.
How was the confidence and how was the atmosphere in the dressing room before they went on?
Pretty good. I think the guys, from their recent form, they believe in themselves, and they'll give it everything.
Well, good luck. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks very much, Graham.
The Magpies with the ball now on their own 32-metre line. Charge down. Here's a chance. Shut the gate. Schubert versus Sterling. Now Kenny comes into the play, and a try. A try that has been well rehearsed, which might sound rather stupid to say, but the number of tries Parramatta have scored off a charge down from little Peter Sterling is quite incredible. Here's the NEC replay. Actually, I've got to be honest, I think Schubert was going to get him. I sold out on Schubert, but he was going to get him, and then Kenny came up, and that was just absolutely and totally it.
A great play by Peter Sterling to come through quickly and knock the ball down. I must say I was surprised. He didn't have the pace to go on with it himself, but he found the ever-present Brett Kenny, who always seems to lob up in these sorts of situations, who was able to go on with it.
Taking the kick for the goal now from about 20 metres in from touch. The charge down, just to explain it a little bit more fully, is one whereby the defender charges the ball down off the rising boot of the opponent. That one hits the post. No extras there for Parramatta, and the scoreline is Parramatta 4, Western Suburbs nothing. Schubert getting us going again, and Sterling is going to send Jackson out into the field of play. A run of some 18 metres for young Jackson. Away goes Mosley. He suddenly come into contention as a representative hooker, Mosley. Leadbeater leaving it behind. The referee says it was knocked backwards. There's a problem for West on Parramatta's right. If they go right now, it might be too late right now, but there certainly was a shortage a couple of seconds back. There's the long ball, supporting what I said. Mares, now Price. Look at the old man. Oh, I shouldn't say that about him. He might get up in the box with me. But a good long run by Price right down that right flank. Now it's Kenny. Sterling cuts it. Oh, came off the head of Mosley, picked up by Michael Neal. It's Naden. Goes very fast over an early part of ground. Back now for Petherbridge. Clark.
Something we should mention at this early stage is that the minimum size of an in-goal area is 6 metres and the maximum size is 11. I'd say these ones at the Parramatta Stadium are the absolute maximum, and that'll give Peter Sterling plenty of opportunities to create a nightmare.
Here's a good run by Gale right down the touchline, and young Brett Clark has combined with Brett Gale. It's a try for the Magpies. They had to strike back very quickly, and this they've done. Brett Gale, the older brother of the Balmain halfback. But this little fellow on the NEC replay who won our Man of the Match award the other night, he skipped under a tackle in Hardwick fashion is the way I describe it. And then this former lock forward second rower, Brett Gale, powered his way over the line for a Western Suburbs try.
Well, all that happened here was that the half-back Clark kept stepping off the right foot, and as tackle after tackle missed him, he stepped further and further across the Parramatta defensive line. This gave Gale the opportunity with the overlap. He showed plenty of pace and strength to power his way over.
So the Magpies, they really had to strike back quickly to keep their confidence level high, and that's what they've done. Thanks to that man, Brett Gale, and now Schubert's got the chance for the extras. Parramatta scratching their heads and saying, how the hell did that happen? I'll tell you how it happened. Brett Clark, he dug his way under a tackle. Schubert's kick looks immaculate. Ah, good kick by the Shoe. Magpies leading Eels by 6-4. Steve Ella kicks off, takes plenty of turf, and Schubert now comes back. This is Alan Fowler, the Western Suburbs hooker. 10 minutes gone, Graham. How are you seeing it?
Well, Ray, there's an old adage from a man called Tim Pickup that used to play with Canterbury Bankstown. Tim always used to say, whenever we run out in that field, make sure we get our defence in order in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Parramatta are very determined to spread this ball wide and try and open the game up, and they're searching out to the flanks. When you do that, you can easily fall foul, and your own defence starts to become somewhat of a bit of a shambles. And I think that's what Parramatta are finding themselves in it. The more they open it up, well, that's helping Western Suburbs as well.
Parramatta taking play up towards the halfway. Played by Graham Atkins. This is Mark Laurie. Parramatta's missed 7 tackles. Western Suburbs at this stage have got a low count in that area. That can be misleading, though, that statistic. Of course, it depends on how much you've got the ball. This is the 5th tackle as Sterling puts the kick in. And it's going right back down into the very deep in-goal area with Sheehan. And they've trapped him. Has he fought his way back? No, it's a line dropout, I think. Oh, geez. Mick Stone reckons that he made the field of play. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, I thought he did too. I thought that he actually just put the hand out with the ball in it. Even though his body was in the in-goal area, the ball was in the field of play.
Fair enough. This is Naden. Williams, I should say. Across now for Petherbridge to get a kick in. A very valuable one too. It takes a lot of the pressure off the Magpies. Jackson going back. Sterling's with him. Now Ella's linked up with Sterling. Ella in 2.
That is a small problem that West have had a couple of occasions they've kicked the ball. The kick's been a fairly good one, but their line's gone through in a ragged fashion rather than as a straight line, and that's left holes.
Laurie now, down to the 22 and beyond. Dummy half is Mosley. Parramatta getting organised now. Sterling. Steve Sharp. Freeman coming over the top there of a tackle by Brett Gale. Mears not running onto it. 12 metres out from the West line. Sterling cuts out Jerd, finds Kenny. There's awful trouble for the man in front of him. Gets it back now for big Stan Jerd. There's a try. Well, that was a very, very soft try, really, because all that happened really was Sterling probing, putting Kenny very close to the line, and he did likewise. You'll see it all again on the NEC replay. In fact, I thought Kenny probably would have stood the West fullback up. He didn't. He stood in the tackle, and then Jerd, with superior strength, was able to beat off at least a two-man Western Suburbs defence.
Sterling's thrown a number of long passes in this game. Some have gone to ground, but this one found its mark with Kenny running into a hole. He turned and found Stan Jerd that was able to just push his way through some fairly flimsy defence.
Stan Jerd, he's making a habit of scoring tries this year. Ella still striving for success. Parramatta back in front. 8 points to 6. This time, Ella's missed it again. So, scoreline unchanged. Parramatta, 8 points. Western Suburbs, 6. Mosley takes the tap. Kenny. And plenty of crosses there from Parramatta, but Leabeater is the man who goes to ground with it. Now it's Price. Kenny. Cut out ball. Jackson will score in the corner. Yes, it's a try for Brian Jackson. Well, as you said, Bill, it can cause them some troubles, but at the same time, by golly, I tell you what, they can create awful problems for most teams. And let me say this to you, in watching the NEC replay, they would have worked very much on spreading the ball quickly to the extremities for Wednesday night. It didn't work very well on Wednesday night, but it's obviously starting to click into gear today.
There is a great variety of passes here. Firstly, the short ball by Ray Price to Brett Kenny to bring the defence in, and then the long ball over the top by Kenny to Jackson. Great Parramatta football.
Jackson, a rookie for Parramatta. He was a star in the lower grades last year, but he slotted in when Mick Cronin got hurt, and he's done, well, not so much when Mick got hurt, but when Mark Laurie and Mick both got hurt, he's done a fine job, this young man, Brian Jackson. Of course, he's got the right coloured hair for the job at Parramatta. Long and blonde. Steve Ella. He hasn't been far from the money. Been so close he can smell it. 22 metres out, 2 in, he's missed it. And so the scoreline remains unchanged. Parramatta 12 with 3 tries. Western Suburbs 6. Sterling and all the youngsters watching this telecast how to take that ball that doesn't bounce favourably for you on the feet first and pick it up. Mosley.
We can see already that Naden and Gale, the two Western Suburbs centres, are both caught on the other side of the field. And while it's probably not that dangerous with Parramatta being in their own quarter, if they were to do that in a more attacking situation, Parramatta would cut them to shreds.
Leibert standing, offloading back to Taylor. A magnificent complex this is. Long ball, Ella down the sideline, inside pass for Laurie to put down.
Well, Laurie might have been unlucky there. My first thoughts were when the ball came off his foot.
There's a wide angle shot of the ground. As I said, 23,000 would be my guess. It could even be higher. Neighbouring clubs, of course, the black and whites and the blue and golds. Caution here for Ray Price is being spoken to. Taylor's in the middle of it. Clark and Freeman are the two Magpies. Michael Neal feeding it. Same time. Westball. Sheehan. Tackled by Ella. Gale. Petherbridge. Petherbridge got through Taylor's tackle. He dragged Kenny along the ground, got the ball back to Willie Williams. It goes back and behind Brett Clark, and he's been tackled eventually by Paul Taylor. Now it's Fella. Gale. Petherbridge.
Western Suburbs showing they've got no troubles shifting the ball around. They can do that. They're going to have not many problems scoring tries. They're just having difficulty in stopping them.
Put down by Bilberger. He was formerly with the Tigers, Johnny Bilberger. He then came to Parramatta. Now he's with West. This is Ella. And now it's Atkins. Back on the Parramatta 22. Ray Price. Mosley, tackled by Schubert. Jerd. Here's the kick from Sterling. It's a high ball for Petherbridge. Ayres makes the tackle. When you see replay of Rod Petherbridge going high, getting his side around the oncoming defence. Everything absolutely correct from Petherbridge. Clark. To Bilberger. Back to Clark. Now it's Naden. Tackled by Mears. Bruce Clark. Straight through. Pulled down by Mears and Price. Neal. Brett Clark. Long ball. Brett Gale. Intercepted by Kenny. Oh! Hang on, where's the opposition gotten to? Brett Kenny snatching it out of the air, as we've seen so often from him. His critics, of course, would say, what about the man that he leaves unmarked? But I think his record reads out fairly satisfactorily. Watch him again. And there he goes, swooping in like a graceful swallow. And another Brett Kenny intercept try goes firmly underneath the crossbar.
Western Suburbs had the numbers. They spread the ball to the left-hand side. Brett Kenny found himself in a 3-on-2 situation. He took the odds to it and went in for the intercept. I've seen this man do it so many times in the past. He stuck out one hand. The ball fell into it. There was no way he was ever going to lose it. He looked around for the defence to see if it was coming, but it was nowhere near him.
Brett Kenny. Steve Ella. Oh, he's got one. That'll make him happy. Steve Ella kicks his first goal, and Parramatta zooming right away, leading by 18 points to 6. Schubert's kick taken again by Sterling on the foot. Pardon me, the foot.
Western Suburbs have now got to get their game back into shape, because the one thing that Parramatta do is when their backs start to get on top, they become absolutely ruthless.
I made the comment before the match that West could not have picked a worse time to play Parramatta. One, the match was going to be at the stadium before this parochial crowd. And two, though they won on Wednesday, they know they played bad, and in particular, Brett Kenny. Now, Graham Hughes, you'd obviously have an opinion on that comment.
Well, Ray, I'm just a little bit shell-shocked down here. The game was opening up certainly Parramatta's way. West hit back very, very strongly. That sort of thing from Brett Kenny's the thing that can break any team. You mentioned about the fact that he may have left somebody uncovered when he picked up that intercept. Well, if Gale had hung onto the ball, there was a big gap there for him, but that's just the individual brilliance that can break any team, and West were trying very strongly to get back into the game again at that stage.
This is Brett Clark. Bilbiger. McFarlane. Clark. Freeman. See, that's... I was going to say that's dumb football, but that's a bit heavy. But
yeah, what it smacks of is lack of confidence.
Taking it up at a canter. You've got to take it up at full gallop. This is Williams now, and they've lost ground. They've had the ball, but they've lost ground, and they're on the 5th now, West. And now Schubert's desperately trying to get rid of it. Clark gets a kick in. That's a good piece of football by Brett Clark. And there's a Parramatta player on the ground. I'm just looking at the touch judges. They've both gone in. Taylor got felled. I think it's Schubert. I think it'll be Schubert, the man they're looking for. That was the kick for line. Schubert's holding his bottom jaw. Schubert's still checking the cheekbone and the jawbone areas. 10 minutes in the sin bin for Schubert. Ooh, if looks could speak. Jerd, Kenny. Inside for Price, outside for Lee Bitter. He's gone without it. Freeman can't pick it up. And which way is he going to rule? Knock-ons against both. And there's problems back here with Clark. I think he's injured. Is he what? In fact, Bruce could not get up, and he was lying on Ray Price, and Price had no alternative but just to wait there until somebody got him off. Price was saying to Clark, get off me, let me out of here. Clark just couldn't move. So Price just lay there. There's the crowd stacked into the Michael Cronin. The players about to go again. Neil coming away with a scrum win for Wests. Oh dear, John Bilbiger was looking at anything other than the ball. The ball coughing up. The replay tells the story. Mosley winning the scrum. It's out for Kenny. And Laurie down to the 22 line.
Western Suburbs defence now is in tatters.
Mosley, Price, Mosley. 15 metres out from the Magpies line. Sterling, Brett Kenny, cut out ball, we'll see a try. Taylor goes himself and is across, but can he get it down? But the referee's called it all back anyway. He's ruled a forward pass. Wednesday night, a double-header from Lang Park, Brisbane. And the feature match live to air at 7:30 in Sydney. Manly versus Combined Brisbane. Live at 7:30. Get that new time slot. Here's Laurie going back in field towards where the scrum is. Mark Laurie. A full night of football. That match on Wednesday night will be followed by Easts. And the winner of a qualifying match up there today in Port Moresby. Here's Kenny. There's trouble for the Magpies. Graham Atkins. Jackson goes in field. Well read by Brett Clark. Kenny, Price, run around. Kenny again with the ball. Stands, looks to offload but can't. And they're 7 metres out from the Western Suburbs.
Oh, the ball's only got to go to the left and they've got to score.
Long ball from Sterling. Stan Jerd will score a double. No, he fell over.
Well, the ball went to the side it had to, but Stan couldn't keep his feet.
Well, there's a penalty coming for Parramatta now. It's like backing a hurdler that's 12 lengths in front coming to the last, and he spills these lollies at the last jump. Sterling now. 2 metres out from the line.
Well, that shows you how confident Parramatta are. They could have thrown the ball over there for 2 points. They just took the tap.
Mosley goes from dummy half. He's short of the line. Kenny's calling for it. Price goes himself, and there's a try. Oh, how easy. This is going to be an embarrassing scoreline for Western Suburbs, the way things are going. I mean, one is entitled, I suppose, on the strength of the week they've had to get caught up in the Western Suburbs euphoria. But the way they're playing, they are going to get beaten from here to Burke by Parramatta.
Parramatta just too good on the score of experience and of class, and here you can see an example of it. Price realised he had the strength and the agility simply to push his way over from dummy half.
Ray Price, the try scorer, his second try on television at the stadium. Steve Ella takes the kick. He gets it. And Parramatta are leading by 24 points to 6. Here's Ian Schubert coming back from the sin bin. Brett Kenny. Mosley. A lot of these Parramatta players have come through the Parramatta junior ranks, and I just want to very briefly mention that they buried one of their very fine junior officials, Ronnie Bridle, here at Parramatta during the week, and to his wife and family, our deepest sympathies from the team and from people in junior league. Kerry Lebeater to play it. This is Paul Mayers. 5 gone. What will Sterling do? Here he is. Kick. There's the siren sounding in the background, so Petherbridge will pick it up. And he forces it in the in-goal area, so that's the end of the first 40 minutes. And probably the way Rod Petherbridge finished it, it was almost like flying the white flag. 24 points to 6 the score. They're trailing by 18, and they've got quite a strong breeze blowing into their teeth now. And some very ominous clouds are building up towards the east. And there they are, in fact. Terry Lebeater charges ahead to a point about 10 metres his own side of halfway.
Western Suburbs will be trying to keep this as creditable as they can in the second half, but I doubt if they can.
Tackle counts, well, the highest, 13 Mayers for Parramatta, 15 Bruce Clark for West, and that West count of 101 certainly tells the story of just who had the football for the longest periods of time. This is Rod Petherbridge running back towards the 22 line. Sheehan. Brett Clark. And number 9 is McFarlane. West have got a lot of players to come into this team. They've got some English imports, such as Fox, the English halfback. Lee Crooks is coming back. And Henderson, a centre that's possessed of a lot of speed, is to come back as well. And looking at that scoreboard, of course, they're going to need every bit of their talent if they're to play Parramatta too many times more in this competition. Penalty to the Magpies. Neil. There's Williams into the back line from the far wing. Clark. Bilberger. Mears and Lebeater throwing him to the ground. Brett Clark. Michael Neal. Clark again. Bruce.
Western Suburbs falling down on the fundamentals. They're just not deep and hitting the ball up so that they can get over the advantage line. You'd almost think that they were in defence, and yet they're in attack.
Brett Clark's kick is going to find touch just outside the 22-metre line.
Wait for it. Give him a ton of work. Give him a ton of work. Both of them.
Atkins.
Parramatta players doing some interchanging in the backs. Steve Ella for this set of 6 has gone to 5'8", and Brett Kenny's moved to the outside centre. And of course, it's very difficult to be marking a team when you just don't know where your opponent's going to bob up.
Jerd to Sterling. Price. Price. Ella's with him. Almost to the halfway. Lebeater. Inside, a good ball for Steve Ella. He was looking for support. Mosley's coming up now. So is Jackson. Jackson is tackled. He got the ball away, though. And that's Steve Sharp tackled and into touch about 5 metres out from the line. Here it was on the head-on cameras. And Brett Clark was the tackler. This is Neil now. Brett Clark getting some attention to the ribcage area. Or Petherbridge was thinking about what he was going to do rather than what he should be doing at that very point in time. So Parramatta's now almost certain to win this scrum. And they'll have 6 tackles inside the west 10-metre zone. There's the ball coming out the back of the tunnel for Price. Taylor. 5 metres out now. Sterling steps off his left. Back to Mears. Still 5 metres out. Looking for Kenny. He's wide to the right. This is Lebeater. And Laurie's overrun it. Ian Maiden cut down about 15 metres out. Sheehan. Tackler is Atkins in 15. Bilberger tackled on the 22. Bruce Clark. Sharp and Price make the tackle, but he was able to offload it, and it's being played by McFarlane. Clark. Petherbridge. 24 points to 6 then in favour of the Eels. Clark. Charged down by Laurie, recaptured there by Schubert. 6 more tackles. Freeman. Brett Clark. And now pulled down as Bilberger. Is Alan Burns, formerly from the North Sydney club, warming up in the tunnel. It will be played by Bruce Clark near the halfway line, appealing for a penalty. Michael Neal, Gale. Five tackles gone for the Magpies. Brett Clark. And it's going to be a scrum just outside the court. Jackson. To be played by Price. Lee Beater. Sterling. Kenny. Over the shoulder of Ella. It's gone back and picked up by Atkins. He bumps off one, and then it was Laurie who put it down. Naden will play the ball for the Magpies. This is Brett Gale, the man who scored the try for Wests. That seems like an eternity back. Freeman. Brett Clark. And into a couple of heavies in the shape of Price and Mears. Michael Neal goes for the bomb. There's a lot of pressure here for Taylor. And it's a penalty. No, it's not. It's the turnover. So the referee claiming that it wasn't touched by Parramatta. Here's the NEC replay of it. It wasn't Taylor, it was Sterling, in fact, in the contest, and West came down with the ball, and so the referee quite right in ordering the turnover. And he's given Bruce Clark 5 minutes in the bin. Yes, Bruce Clark has gone for 5 minutes, and Steve Ella is on his back. Let's see it again. Well, I tend to think he's got him for tripping. Kenny.
Parramatta playing now with little respect for Western Suburbs at all. Last time they had the ball, they rucked it out of their own in goal, and players were standing in tackles on their try line and still prepared to release them. They just got a penalty on their quarter. They didn't worry about kicking for touch. They just took the quick tap.
It won't be at all surprised if Moni replaces Ella. Even if Ella says he's all right, it won't surprise me if Moni gets him out of there fairly quickly with a 24-6 scoreline. He's favouring the leg, and he's talking to Graham Richards, their Zambuck. Brett Clark. Kenny all over the top of him. Here's McFarlane. Now it's Williams. Petherbridge. Held by Mayers. It's gone now to Sheehan. Inside to Williams. Tackled by Jerd. There's the ball out the back for Fowler. Around the corner for Naden. A good chance for him. Taylor lines him up. I've got a feeling he's lost the ball. So here it is on the head-on. He lost the ball actually in the field of play, and then Parramatta dived on it. It's a crazy rugby league rule, really. Totally ridiculous, because if the ball is projected forward, a la a knock-on, and the opposition gets no advantage from it, I can't see how a line dropout is an advantage. It's one of the silliest rules in the book.
I thought Naden showed a little bit of inexperience then. He could have wrong-footed Paul Taylor with a bit of an in and away. That would have slowed Taylor down. As it was, he just set off at the try line, and of course Taylor got to him and stopped him short.
This is McFarlane.
I'm very impressed so far with Wilfred Williams, the Western Suburbs winger. He's the one man that's looking like he is a powerful runner, and can he push through a little bit of a gap.
Penalty to Wests. Fowler it is that takes it a good distance ahead. I'm just getting the impression watching Parramatta that They ran to 24-6 in the first half. Here's another penalty to West against Price.
I think it's a penalty that's gone the wrong way.
Neil, Petherbridge. I just think we're going to say, I get the impression that Parramatta have just gone out there in the second half to go through the motions. They've lost interest. Bilberger. Brett Clark. Williams. Back inside for Clark. Tackled by Jerd. Long ball out and behind Petherbridge. That's cost them ground. Michael Neal through McFarlane out to Gale. Gale to Bilberger. He'll run around him, but Bilberger unable to get the ball around to him. McFarlane to the blind side for Neal. Clark. Grubber kick through. Taylor's coming across. Gets a favourable bounce. Can he make the field of play? Naden's got him tied up. And Taylor forces the ball in goal. Thinking to the bargain, either the tackler or the man tackled is hurt. They're both hurt. So Parramatta taking the line drop out as we take you to the sidelines. Here's Graham Hughes with Eric Growth.
Eric, I guess it's pretty easy for side to sort of psychologically take it easy in the second half when you're leading by such a big score at half-time.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can't do that sort of thing with West this year. They're a much better side than they were last year.
I think Johnny Marnie might have had something to say too about the handling late in the first half and again early in the second half for the Parramatta side.
Yeah, it's been a bit forced passes is probably the issue there, and we shouldn't be doing it.
Nice to have Steve Ella back.
Oh, certainly is. Steve's a magnificent player. It's, you know, in any team he plays, and he always lifts the players.
You're out with an ankle injury, a heel injury. When are you due back?
I hope with extensive treatment, hopefully next week.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Start.
Sports store proprietor Eric Growth. Penalty to Wests against Sterling. No, it's against Mosley. I beg your pardon. Then Price looks like he's coming off. Clark is back on for the Magpies. Neal. Williams. He's done a mighty fine job, this boy, Wilfred Williams, particularly in the second half. 5 tackles, little chip by Clark, fielded there and taken to ground by Steve Sharp. There's the chip on the NEC replay, and Sharp was always there to take it to ground. Here's Laurie. Let's get a look at the composition of this Parramatta team now. Jackson is back in the centres. Chalmers is on the wing. Kenny at the moment is playing in the centres. Sterling. That's Lillis playing in jumper number 24. Sterling. Kenny back for Sterling. Sterling puts the kick in and spinning like a top over there on the sideline before going across it. Have a look at this kick from Sterling. It goes so close to the touchline, then it starts to spin like a top. And off a Western Suburbs player is the ruling. Kenny, Taylor coming in, cut out ball on him for Laurie. Laurie looking inside, takes it to ground 30 metres away from the line. Kenny to Taylor, has Jackson with him on the outside. Naden flinging little Taylor to the ground. Back to Sharp. 18 is Chalmers. clapping you hear in the background is for Jerd, who's arriving back now to the players' tunnel. As Parramatta go onto the attack through Sterling and Kenny to Mayers out very wide. Mayers. Naden's doing a good job in defence. In fact, he eventually picked him up and drove him with the help of Alan Falla. 5 tackles gone. Mosley gets the ball away, but West have come up with it. Number 40 for the Magpies is Alan Burns. Clark again is on the ground. No score in the second half. What does that mean? Has the West's game improved, or has the Parramatta game become lethargic? So Bruce Clark coming off. McFarlane has gone up to the front row, and Burns will lock the scrum with Schubert going to the second row. This is Laurie. Michael Neal coming off. This is Graham Setri. Inside, Taylor. 6 metres out from the line. Sterling. Back for Lillis. Sterling again. Kenny around the back, still going. Sterling still going. Mosley, now Mayers, and the big man is put down about 2 metres out from the line. Sterling, grubber kick ahead and raked over the dead ball line by the Magpies, so a line dropout. The NEC replay of it, with Petherbridge almost booting it out of the hands of Schubert. Bruce Clark getting some help back to the dressing rooms. As Taylor goes across to field that on the full. Oh, he's gone right through. Like a hot knife through butter. And a penalty now up to Parramatta.
Parramatta's outside backs would be disappointed that the referee didn't play the advantage, because they were certainly running into no defence.
Sterling popping it up to Kenny. It's lost by Kenny, and this will be a scrum now. So they tried to do the right thing by the fans and go for a try rather than a goal, and it's backfired on them. Been a very ordinary second half, though, to say the very least. From Parramatta in particular, they've run to a 24-6 lead, and they look like they've pulled their tent down. Petherbridge. That's Burns in 40. Shame to see a player of Alan Burns' class running around in jumper number 40, really. Freeman. Don't forget Wednesday night, live at 7:30. Trevor Cogger doing his best, but he's put it down. Mayers has got it for Parramatta. Tackled by Brett Gale. Yes, live telecast 7:30. Don't turn on at 8:30, for goodness sake. Expecting to see the kickoff between Manly and Brisbane. From Lang Park at 7:30, live to 10 viewers in Sydney. Kenny across now for Sharp. Into the corner goes Chalmers. He has to step back in field. Good defence by the Magpies. Jackson, Kenny, back. That's Setri. Right in front of the uprights, 10 metres out. Dummy half Mosley. Sterling. Cuts out Lillis, finds Taylor. Taylor gets a pass away. 6 more tackles should be the ruling. Well, he's ruled that he passed the ball forward. That's all I can understand from that ruling. It was definitely hit by a magpie. Well, at least Steve Gosson's going to be able to say to them, we played a 0-0 draw for 40 minutes. If this keeps going, Atkins. Oh, here's Taylor inside the 22. He's found Mosley. Mosley to play it 10 metres out from the line. Held down by Dillon. Across now and through rolls to Sterling to Kenny. Kenny steps off his left, turns it back inside. Sterling backs him up. Outside for Setri. Setri floats it over for Chalmers. Chalmers will score. The only point so far in the second half scored by Tony Chalmers. Good work by Sterling. You saw him at his brilliant best. And probably the exercise for anybody watching the game from a player or coaching point of view is to watch how Sterling supports the ball. And if it hadn't have been for him staying alive and supporting, this try most assuredly would have broken down. There's Chalmers going in for the try. Bill Anderson.
Brett Kenny's got this marvellous ability to be able to keep the ball alive. He was hit in a tackle, just got his hands free, and Peter Sterling, that had thrown the pass to him, looped around, made the extra man, fired it onto Setri. Good support play here. Chalmers positioned himself well, took the pass over the top, and simply had to fall over to come up with the 4 points.
Here's Graham Atkins with his kick from the touchline. Oh, that's a gorgeous kick. Beautiful kick by Graham Atkins, the man they called the Brain. 30 points to 6 in favour of the Eels. Mears. Sterling. Kenny. Put down by Sterling. And Brett Clark for the Magpies is tackled now on the halfway. To Brett Clark's credit, Bill, you've got to say he hasn't stopped trying.
He hasn't. There have been a few players in Western Suburbs who have been in a similar position. They've just been outmatched by a side that's too classy, got too much penetration and too much experience for them.
This is Freeman. What a feeling it must be for that young man in 33 out there for Parramatta, David Rolls. I was telling you about, he played schoolboys last year with Tony Casado from Ashcroft. And his dream, of course, is the Parramatta ¡7 jumper. And here he is coming on in the latter parts of this match to push the Parramatta #7 out to 5/8. You reckon that wouldn't be a thrill for him? Clark. Gale. Tackled by Laurie. Good piece of football by Brett Gale. And Brett Clark it is who gets the kick in, so it's going to be a scrum. Midway 22 halfway on the Parramatta end of the ground. There he is, the young fellow I was talking about. I don't know him at all, but they say he's a very cocky little fellow, very confident. Atkins, Kenny supports. Kenny coming across the halfway. Laurie's with him. Chalmers should go inside. Laurie tackled just inside the touchline. Chalmers dummy half in 18. Inside the 22, still going Chalmers. He's only 7 metres out. That's a good run. Rolls is calling for it. He wants the run around from Laurie, but he's going himself. Held a couple of metres from the line. Laurie the dummy half. Sterling puts the kick in the air. Atkins will take this. Put it down behind him. Mosley picks it up and scores the try. Michael Mosley, the try scorer. Well, that's a reward for a job well done for Mosley. Maybe not so much in this match, but in recent weeks he's been playing very well. No question about the referee's ruling on it. And it's a 4-pointer to Parramatta and to Michael Mosley.
We continue to marvel at Sterling's kicking game. This bomb was spot on. Atkins couldn't hold it. Mosley was backing up and he came up with the crumbs.
1 from 1 for Graham. He had a shot from the other side of the ground. 2 metres in from touch. He's got it away all right. He's got it. Whoa! 36-6 now. Blue and Gold Army goes up again. There's the siren. It's over for Western Suburbs. Quite thankfully, I would imagine, because they came here today. The game was going to be built very much on euphoria, guts, heart, spirit, call it what you like. But class is what it all came down to. And they didn't have it to match Parramatta, as the scoreboard indicated. 2 for Kenny, Jerd, Jackson, Price, Chalmers and Mosley got amongst the points. Ella kicked 2, Atkins kicked 2. He may have got himself a job there, Graham. West's, Gale the try, Schubert the goal. 36-6 to the Eels over the Magpies.